Hello. This is Seanorama here, doing a midweek update. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Rough week today. I think I want to talk about technology a little bit today. I just had the most frustrating discussion to do with technology and trying to explain how using technology is actually a good thing, and how it makes things easier, and to the point that things are now, technology. How do I explain this? I feel like a Luddite at the moment. Like I'm so frustrated with this problem that came up that I'm having trouble thinking straight. But I was trying to explain to someone about using Google Maps or using some sort of mapping software. I mean, we all have GPSs in our phone nowadays, and any modern business of any kind, whether you're a farmer or whatever. There's a fly in here that's bugging. It's really annoying. Anyway, if you're a farmer, or if you are a small business owner, or if you are doing anything that is a business activity, to not be using the technology that's out there, that's free. It's out there, it's free. Everyone is using it. Everyone has it. To not use it is going to hurt your business that you have. For example, Google Maps. Everyone's using Google or everyone's using Apple. And if you're not using one of those two, whether you like them or not, it's the way of the world. Google Maps is, if you have a business and you have a location, you need to tag yourself on Google Maps, otherwise people are not going to be able to find you. Yes, you can provide an address, and those people are going to use Google Maps to find your address, or whatever the one is in Apple, to find you. And that's the way it's going to work. Like, that's how it works. But to have yourself on a map and to ping yourself, to ping your business, it's just natural. If you are a farmer selling goods, selling your wares, selling, your crops, and you are going to take a delivery of something, say a new machine for the farm, or maybe some implements to add to your seeds to make sure that they grow strong and healthy, all those sorts of things. You really should know where you are on a Google map, and you should ping yourself or pin yourself to that map. That way people can find you. In this world, in the world that we live in, if someone has the option of going with someone they can find on a map, or having to find that person because they're not on a map, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to go with the person they have to go actively search for. They're going to go with the person that pops up immediately. So, for example, if you're driving around, you're like, I'm really hungry right now. You open your Google Maps and your restaurant's not pinned on there. No one's going to go to that restaurant. You're not going to get casual traffic stopping by. You're not going to get casual traffic stopping by at your restaurant. They're not even going to know you're there. So these are things that you really need to do. These are things you really need to look after in order to be found. And why you wouldn't go ahead and do that is kind of astonishing. Use the technology that's out there. Set your bar a little bit higher for your business. Now, I can understand. Predominantly, I don't know if my audience are geeks or nerds or whatever. I don't know that for sure, but I'm going to hazard a guess that probably yes. And this is all I'm preaching to the choir, I guess. But for those that aren't using technology, you got to understand it's there to help you. It's there to make things better for you. Use it, and if you don't know how to use it, go ask some questions. You know what? There's the use of these apps is it's so much easier than it was 20 years ago. When I first was playing with computers, there was no such thing as a mouse. There was no such thing as a Windows program. You needed to know all the commands. And at one point, you need to know all the coding in order to be able to type anything out. Now, everything's easy. You can build your own website on your own. You can, you get a membership, it's just click and drag. Oh, I like this box. I like the way that this box looks over there. There's presets for websites. You can just pick the one you like and just go with it. You don't have to think. It's all done for you. So it's silly to not take the tools out there and to not take the tools out there and just use them. Like, go ahead, use it. It's great. Yeah, so that's a rant, I guess. The other thing, I guess, as an update, is Corey did his update yesterday, which is great. But I'm doing one today too. So I'm just going through the editing process of. I'm going through the editing process of the episode we recorded a couple weeks ago at the studio. So I cut it in half because it was, it was worked out to 45-minute episodes. The first episode was released this past Monday, and the next episode, which I just finished editing yesterday, is up on Patreon right now, or you can wait and get the free version on Monday. The second one was really, really interesting. We actually played a game of incorrect journalism, and calling out Sam Thompson from Witch Police, because he supplied us with some headlines to play the game. Now, if you're not familiar with incorrect journalism, the name of the game is we are presented with headlines. We are going to read the headlines without reading the story. The game could also be called modern journalism. Here's my dig. And the idea is we read the headline without reading the story, and we tell you what the story is about. And he provided two headlines that were horrible headlines, and we had to talk about them. And we did. So, Sam, thank you for those, and damn you at the same time. So we issue a challenge to Sam in that episode, so we'll see if he takes us up on it. Sam's a good dude. It's all in play. This is all play. And then we also did one from Danica, my niece, Debbie Todd's daughter. And hers was good too. We actually kind of learned a lot from the headline that she provided, which is quite interesting. Anyway, so that was really fun. The editing process was atrocious and painful. But it's done and it's up, and I can't wait to present it to you guys on Monday, or just pick it up with Patreon right now. The other thing is, I got a few more minutes left to go. Good. We're at the 9-minute mark. The other thing is, I kind of hit a bit of a snag in the writing process, or the editing process, I should say. And I've kind of been working through that the last week. I also had problems with my computer last week. My computer died, or I thought it did, but it didn't actually die. It was doing a Windows update in the background, which I wasn't even aware was happening. And I put it into airplane mode because I don't like to be distracted when I'm writing or editing. by notifications. So I usually put airplane mode on when I'm writing. And I turned that on, and I guess it was in the middle of a Windows update. I let this computer go to sleep mode without shutting it down, and then when I tried to turn it on, it wouldn't turn on at all. So it looks like the Windows, what I found out was the Windows update didn't proceed as planned, and I had to do some fancy legwork on the laptop in order to reboot it. Kind of like rebooting in safe mode of the old days, to force it to start, and then it finished the Windows update. But I had no idea how to do it. I had to research it, figure it out. But all special thanks to the people at HP, because I used their online chat, and they were able to help me out. So thank you, HP. So that was good. So I hit a snag in the editing where I was kind of stuck at something. I wasn't sure how to get out of it, how to work through it, but I figured it out just this week or just this weekend. And it's forcing me to go back through points of the story and adding a little bit of. I'm going to be peppering a little bit of stuff that happens later in the book. But I need to kind of go along and add like a couple, one line here, one line there, maybe a paragraph there to a number of chapters. So I'm kind of going through that process. And as part of that process, I'm kind of rereading the new stuff I'd added on this edit and going and realizing, wow, this is really, really good. Like, this is really, like, I'm actually really enjoying this. Like, oh, this is good too. I forgot, like, I knew what I had added in general, overarching story, what I'd added, but I kind of forgot about the nuances of what I wrote and realized, man, this stuff I added is really, really good. So it kind of gave me a bit more excitement to go through this part. So I'm actually reading through the first third of the book, the first part of the book, which is, a third of the book, and going through and doing another kind of a quick edit, just to make sure the content is good. It's not so much a grammatical edit, but more of like a content, just to make sure that continuity is okay. So it's a continuity edit. Does that make sense? And then I'm going to add a couple little bits and pieces here and there. So very, very excited. Really enjoying the editing process at this point. And kind of back in the swing. It's almost like I hit that wall, wasn't sure what I was going to do, and then the computer died. And it's like, really? Like, all this at the same time is really, really shitty. But anyway, I figured it out, and we're done. And we're down, and it's happening. And I can't wait to go back and do some more editing. So anyway, I'm going to sign off here. Just a bit of an update. A new episode on Monday. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Look for SeanGeek or SeanGeek Podcast. On all of those things. It's The Real Meet the Geeks at Facebook. And SeanMcGinnity.ca is the place you can always get the podcast, always get updates, always get news. And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, you can do so from there, or you can subscribe through your favorite podcast provider. Look for SeanGeek. You'll find me. See you on the flip side.